Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosie and Karina's like investigators.
Hello.
So, hello, everybody. Karina's back here, and we're talking today. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so we just have a couple of topics we'll discuss today. One is that I posted a link to this article. I think it was Friday or even Thursday or Friday. It's about the kid from who works for Elon Musk, whose father, whose grandfather, I'm sorry, was a Soviet spy and ended up being actually like killed by when the Russians discovered that he was working for the US. And and so it would just be I was talking to Rena just now about it, and then I feel like I kind of got his grandfather wanting to come through, so that'll be really interesting. So let's share the
Mm-hmm.
article here. Okay, let's do the protection prayer. I'd like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and only the good, and so it is. Okay, so here is prominent DOGE staffer is grandson of turncoat KGB spy. Edward Big Balls Corisine happens to be the descendant of Valery Martinov, a KGB agent who spied for the US. So just to give a quick intro here about, so this is the photo of his grandfather, okay? Valery Fedorovich Martinov was sent to US to serve undercover at the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. So he was part of the technical espionage division, had a wife and two young children. They enjoyed traveling to cities on the eastern seaboard and enjoying life in what was one of the KGB's most desirable postings. Okay, so here now, this is he arrives in 1980. In 1982, the FBI recruited Martinov as an agent. He stayed in place and began feeding Soviet secrets to his FBI handlers. So there's the names of others that he recruited. Um, okay, so then here at the same time, the KGB counterintelligence officer Victor Sherekashin, who was stationed at the DC Residentura, had found his own in sources in US intelligence, incredibly good ones, in the form of CIA officer Aldrich Ames and FBI counterintelligence agent Robert Hansen. So just guys, this is something that if you're interested in the subject, you probably already know about this, and you can look these names up. There's several documentaries about them separately. So
Mm-hmm.
these were people who were working. They are, I think they're still alive. They're in prison. Aldrich Ames, he was caught. There was really interesting documentaries about how he was caught, and Robert Hansen was also caught. So then these people, the Americans, right, gave
Mm-hmm.
intelligence information to the Russians, and then as a result, ratted out this guy Valery Martinov. Okay, so, okay, so here Ames and Hansen would help the KGB unmask a number of moles and traitors in its midst, leading to their executions. One of them was Valery Martinov. And as recounted in his memoir, Spy Handler, Victor Sherkashin was deeply upset when he learned that Martinov, who he liked and considered a decent man, had betrayed his people. Okay, so, right, okay. All right, so then it's the story of how they caught him. All right. So, okay. So then let's see here. Okay, I have not read this whole thing, but I just see, I want to know what happened to their son. Like, right? I don't know why I think son.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What happened to the, okay. 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 So here, oh, here it is. So then in 1994, Natalia Martinova, still mourning her husband, spoke bitterly of her family's experience in an interview with the Washington Post. And this is okay, so this is the grandmother, right? So she said that
Right.
after James' arrest earlier that year, she had contacted the US Embassy requesting assistance. If he was really working for them, I think some kind of help would be fair. Martinova told the paper's Fred Hyatt. Of course, maybe it was all concocted here and he was not working for the Americans. I'm sure I will never know the truth. The main thing is that I want my children to be somehow protected. On August 21st, 1995, Natalia Martinova arrived with her two children in the United States, according to a Facebook post by her son Alexander. Coristine's uncle, Natalia Martinova, died in 2020 and is buried in New York. Alexander became a Virginia police officer who sometimes posts comments on blogs about his historically famous father. Now he has to face my father along with other people he had betrayed. Alexander wrote when Robert Hansen, the FBI agent who spied for the Soviets, died in he died in 2023. Okay. Oh, that's it. So Martinova's daughter, so okay, now it makes sense. So that's finally the story. So Martinova's daughter, Anna, became a financial professional who married Charles Corisine, the proprietor of Lesser Evil, a snack company. Among their children is a 19-year-old young man named Edward Corisine, who currently wields an unknown amount of power and authority over the inner workings of our federal government. So
Hmm.
now, so Anna, right? Um,
Hmm.
came to the US and I would assume considering the age that it's interesting because I came to the US in 95 also. So I know my age then. And so I would think she's probably, I don't know, her 50s or something. I don't know, at the most, okay? Anna.
Yeah.
So also I would assume that she spoke very good Russian because it wasn't like the case of her. You know what I mean? Like she grew up in Russia, it sounds like, the mother of this kid. So she spoke
Right.
Russian really well, pretty well. So he was, wow. So he was very connected to Russian culture, it sounds. So now, interesting. Was that a long? It's okay, right, Gwyneth?
No, that you had to explain that because that so that everybody knows how it connects.
Okay, so let's so he probably, I see that he heard the mother and grandmother speaking Russian all the time at home. So, and that since, and it's telling me also that the grandfather worked in the technical KGB part, so that he must have been some sort of programmer or engineer of some sort. So part of it, like something about it made him feel like it connected to that was his background or his identity connected there, I think.
Yes.
So, so what is going on? So how does this relate to Edward oh, let's see, Corstein, is that his name, right? Um,
Hmm.
Edward Corisine. That's right. So Edward Corisine, let's just now go scroll to his grandfather photo because I feel this like he may want. Okay, so what is the story? Like, was there any? This makes sense. I guess I'd like to know is this. Was the first question, was Edward Corisine, this 19-year-old who works for DOGE now, was he, did he come out, did it come from within, like this essentially willingness to help Russia? Is it something that it came from him, or did anybody reach out to him? How did it work that he started to do
Okay.
this? Is this related to a grandfather? What is the relationship here?
Interesting.
So, so what I got, Karina, just at least now, is that when he was growing up, the grandmother especially missed the times that she had in Russia because she was very respected then before this whole thing happened. And she didn't like being an immigrant here. So so that was like she didn't really necessarily have a very, other than they killed her husband. I don't feel like she had a negative connection to Russia. I don't think she hated it really.
Mm-mm.
So that's in the sense. And then growing up, I saw that he was curious about it, and there's this whole hacking culture. There's, to be fair, there's a lot of really good Russian programmers, and they're really good at math. So he had these skill set, and he felt like he came from his Russian grandfather. So,
Yeah.
so he felt very Russian. He's saying yes, he felt very connected to Russian culture, and he felt his identity was yes, partially Russian. Yes, that's what I got.
Hmm. Hmm.
So tell me, what did you get?
And honestly, I feel like there could be some sort of connection. Excuse me. Um, Connection in the way that I get the bigger picture on the KGB stuff where when you are part of that family,
Mm,
it's almost like they even keep track of your family.
mm,
So the kid was still being watched,
mm,
and I get like a grooming process
mm,
kind of feeling where they keep track of who has been involved in that stuff, their relatives. They watch for the signs of the relatives. Would they be on our side? Would they be on whose side would they be on? And by the things he was doing and researching and talking about on social media and pick up, they could feel that he was on their side.
mm.
So I feel like they may have reached out to him at some point.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, so then I see, so in other words, I think both of us are reaching the conclusion that the connection to Russia was deliberate. He knew about it and he
Yeah,
pro-Russia, right? I feel like, right? Like I
yeah,
think
yeah. I
then,
agree.
right? So then what is the connection with Elon Musk? Like because I guess this other websites he's had a couple years ago or a few years ago. So clearly he's been into Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, to be fair, he wasn't always pro-Russia. It's relatively recent. So does it make sense what I'm asking? Is like, was it a coincidence that, or did it get close to Elon Musk before Elon Musk became pro-Russia or so does it make sense? I guess I'm
Mm-hmm.
what is the
Mm-hmm.
relationship here between, did he know, what is the story here with Elon Musk? No, he knew that, see that he knew that there was people close to Elon Musk that were pro-Russian, that there was like, Elon was very much, see, by the time he came, because for us, right, when I say we're older, so we see time differently. For a teenager like him, 3 years
Right.
is a really long time. So even
Yeah.
if Elon Musk 3 years ago became like this,
Yeah.
it feels like that's
And,
the only thing he's known. So,
right. And again, I hear the word grew.
okay, GRE.
So yes, there was a connection there, and
Mhm.
they connected those two.
Okay.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
They put those two together.
Yeah, and Karina, there was so this kid had a website. It's sort of complicated. I think it's called Tesla.sexy, but it was hosted in Russia. And there was some sort of thing that happened related to this website in Russia. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's
Hmm.
something that Russia is a prominent connect. So yes, he was one, they had is saying this, they had to connect, like some of the communication that happens between them is through these internet like
Yeah.
forums. If there's something about it where the server situation or like something like that where they have the, so this was, yes, this is like it shows me like a connecting cable, so they were connecting, they were communicating that way. So
Right. It was the front.
that's
Yeah.
right, that's right. So okay, so that's it. So now, okay, I'm gonna ask this, is it maybe a weird question, but I want to know, has he pledged allegiance to Russia, this kid Edward? Has he pledged some sort of allegiance to Russia over the US? Or how does he see this? Does he think of himself as a traitor? How does he see his role? How does he see himself?
I get that homage again that I got. It's an
Okay.
homage to his grandfather.
Yeah, I see that in his mind he says something like, well, but it's like my grandfather wanted the both sides to collaborate in the end. We don't have to be separate. Why can't we work together on a common cause? Something like that.
Hmm.
So this is, and I see that this is like the talking points that they like, that there's a lot of why these programmer kids, a lot of them are like pro. It's because they say, well, we're all, oh my God, do you hear it, Brenna? Do you hear the buzzing?
Yeah. Ooh.
So anyway, so okay, so
What
it's,
was
sometimes because I'm near a big avenue, so it could be
yeah.
a delivery truck, something, I don't know. So anyway, so I got that there is something, okay, sorry, I got distracted. Oh, about the, so that's right, the programmers being like, we're just programmers. So what if one is Russian, the other is American? World, this is a part of the same nation, like the same worldwide, like programmers own the world kind of feeling. That's what.
No. And you know what? It's taking me right back to what you said earlier about how they're younger, like we're older, that we can see it. They don't, they're younger. That's why they go after the younger guys, because they don't have that experience of knowledge yet. Or, you know, we have been around enough to see what Russia is like. They don't. So they feed them. That's where that grooming process comes in. They
Mhm.
feed them with this pro Russia stuff that they end up believing.
Mm.
They
Mm.
haven't been around long enough to know better,
Mm.
as
Okay.
they should. And with his background, it was really easy to do that with him.
Mm. Okay. So then the next question, Karina, is like given uh I mean he's committed several crimes, right? No matter how you slice it, the fact that he got access to these systems without having authorization, he has no security clearance and so forth. So my question is then, are they going, I mean, we both saw those people going to prison at some point,
Mm-hmm.
not in the far, pretty close. But my question is he, because it's almost like they're so young that they've been kind of conditioned to believe that's the norm, but it's not at all, right?
Right,
So,
exactly. They
so what,
have.
so what is like, what happens to him next? And then I see that actually the grandfather wants to talk. So let's see first here.
Okay, because something did come.
What do you mean something didn't
I,
come?
I got something immediately
About what?
with these young kids going to prison.
Tell me,
That
go ahead.
they're young enough that I believe that there will be some sort of rehabilitation for them, like deprogramming kind of program that they all have to go through. And
Mhm.
I think after they do that and complete that, they will have possibilities. And I don't think it will happen immediately. They will have to spend some time in prison. But I
Mhm.
could see after 10, 15, 20 years that they might be able to get out
Mhm. Okay.
because they were deprogrammed.
Okay. 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 So interesting. So let's see here. Okay, what about the grandfather? Is like, no, 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 no. Never. It's not. He had. That's right. I see the grandfather was like he knew there was a lot of kind of like brainwashing happening over there, and he didn't. He enjoyed his life in the U.S. and he like it felt good for him. And then suddenly things just quickly, once he was discovered, it just quickly he was like tortured and killed pretty quickly. And that was it. It didn't have like the next thing he knows, boom, 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 it was over for him. So
Yeah.
so he feels terrible that his grandson didn't see, and it feels kind of he feels guilty almost that the grandson is still, it's like the trauma of the, you know how like we talk, you know, I like to talk about the family trauma, different traumas, but it feels like
Right.
he had the trauma to deal with here. Um
Yeah.
and like and so but he will just like I say, he will suffer not in the way that I suffer, but in a different way. He will face the consequences, yes. And it's saying that the difference is that this kid was not trained like when he received the training for the KGB. There was it's very deliberate. It was like a military process, right? Like there was order, there was knowledge, there was education, but his grandson didn't have any of that. So he believes it's saying that the 4chan kind of mentality,
Right.
these boards that are radicalized, they radicalize young people. So he has no, it's saying he's not really excusing it. Oh wow, he's linking. Wow, that's crazy. The grandfather is linking the grandson to Al Qaeda. You know those kids who like there was these Al Qaeda boards that would radicalize people to do
Right. Exactly.
it. So he
Yeah.
thinks is very similar. It's the same thing. It's saying they are just they they know how to find the minds that will be open to that type of message. And it's
Right.
saying that was something the KGB was excellent at, and they just knew how to, I don't know, spot people is what I'm understanding here.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you have anything to tell us about this whole, Elon Musk and these kids being kind of groomed and what's going to happen to them? Okay, so there was nice. It was a nice 1.5 weeks. Is that right? It was a nice for a while, but they're going to start losing access to things, and they're not going to be able to eventually get in. And they're like, so he shows me doors starting to be shut. Boom, boom. Like they got access to everything suddenly. And then suddenly like that one door is shut, the next one, because they have to have all these access levels, and
Right.
it will be removed from all of this. And then eventually, they will show up and they will not be able, just like what they've done to the people that they have fired, actually, some of them
Yeah. Yeah.
be
Exactly.
and fired as well. But
Mm-hmm.
then I see that there's people like once they're, you know how we see these images even of like what Trump's people are doing to the federal workers, them carrying boxes, but I see that they're leaving these offices and instead of boxes, they're greeted by these, I feel like feds waiting for them on the outside, like, oh, hello, Edward, how are you? A federal agent such and such. Come with me.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what? Like, do you know who I am? Yeah, we know exactly who you are.
We've been watching you for a while.
Yeah, and then he's like taken to this interrogation place. And I even see his parents could be like
Oh,
saying hello or something. Like he realizes it's serious. So,
yeah.
but I don't get a sense that he ever thought there was any danger. He never thought he was in danger, I feel like, which is
No,
interesting.
I don't either. I feel very like they just don't get it. They really don't. They don't understand the gravity of what they've done because they've been brainwashed. They've been conditioned. They've been programmed for this. And that's what I got with the KGB, watching people's families that have been in the KGB
Hmm.
because they have that line to them that they can be easily manipulated, some of them.
That's right.
He
That's right.
was one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So very interesting, Karina. Wow, that's it. So that makes sense. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then what else? Okay. So then the grandfather, what else? No, it's saying that he's telling me that this kid will eventually, like you said, over his life, let's say conquer the karma. He will face the consequences and learn from it down the line. And then in the next 25 years, he's saying. So,
Yeah. But
wow.
you started to say something that hit me pretty hard. You said you were starting to say, and pardon me if I finish a sentence that if
Okay,
this is what you were going to say, then correct me. But you started to say he's he's living out some karma, like, or he's going to pay for some karma kind of thing. What
mhm,
I got when you started to say that was, no, it's the cycle of karma that's going to be broken.
that's right. But he has to,
Yes.
right? Like he's going to deal with this. And then as he learns
Yes.
to heal, he will be rid of it.
Right.
Like he had to do this in order to learn the truth about everything.
Yes.
And he will come, uh, that's his path in life is to do this
Yes.
crime, which is that's what it is, it's a crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
These crimes, and then to become to and it's crazy they
It,
would take him 25 years to learn that it was,
right.
but he will learn over
But it
time.
breaks generational karma. That's why it took so long, because it's a generational karma that he's breaking.
Hmm.
It's not just his own karma. He's doing that for his whole line. That's why I got so lit up on that one, because that's some big, and it's telling me that's a lot of thing. That's what's going on in a lot of people's lives right now. Why things are so crazy and big and wild and unexpected things happening. People are breaking a lot of generational karma.
Mm. That's right.
Wow, that's pretty big
Hmm. Hmm.
coming in like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then grandfather, I just also want to know if is this kid going to read out uh is he going to read out like is he going to read out Elon Musk?
Leon.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
He's
Wow.
got that. He's got that from his grandfather too.
That's right. Yeah, I see that, and I get this image of like once he's taken into custody, he expects Elon's people to do something, but they disappeared. And then when he realized, and I do see the parents are gonna be there too. Uh, like they will,
Yeah.
like he will come into his senses. Okay, so
Yeah. I feel like it's the parents, maybe not the parents, the grandparents obviously, but the parents too lived this kind of thing before. They know how to help him.
hmm. Hmm.
Is
Hmm.
what I get. They know how to help him.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm,
he will probably be the one that cooperates the most, honestly,
mhm,
because of his past
mhm,
and because of the family's history.
mhm,
So it feels to me very much like they need to break this generational thing, this cycle, and dealing, like you said, with that karma. So cooperating and helping make it right is
mhm,
one of the ways to do that.
mhm, mhm. That's right. That's right. Wow. Okay. Okay. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right. So this is this part, Karina. So that's interesting, right? I think it tells
Yeah,
us.
that was interesting. That we thought we might get some interesting stuff on that one.
So are these, so then just generally the last question here. Are these kids, let's just call them the Doge kids or whatever, are they gonna rat out their masters? Like Peter Thiel, like all, because even one of them was part of this young Peter Thiel program, long story, but are they gonna rat them out or what? Or
Yeah.
are they gonna like what's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Once that or that spell of their savior is broken, they're going to spill the beans. Everything, probably even more than what we even think would come out of them, is going to come out of them.
Mm, that's right. Because it's saying they knew they were the gap the like shift between being like all these powerful tech people praising them and like the truth of where they are when they realize
Right.
use because the whole concept was always like, oh no, you're big, you're gonna make it, gonna be a big guy, you're gonna do this huge thing. It's not gonna happen that way, and that will kind of destroy them in a way. I feel like it will
Yeah.
mess them up. So interesting.
Yeah. They thought they were going to be heroes, but they're not.
Mm-mm. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So this is good, Quinn. This is very good. Okay. So let's move to another subject. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Quinn and I are going to talk about these bomb threats. So we talked as we started talking today. I I was telling her about this bomb threat, and I went to look up for the latest news, and then it turned out there was another one, which is different. It's a it was a bomb threat to an airplane going from New York to India.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start here first here. Okay, this one share. All right. So bomb threat sent to anti-Trump conference singles out officer who tangled with ex-Proud Boys leader. Enrique Tarrio denies involvement despite organizers attributing the threat to someone claiming to be Enrique T. Okay, so this is a conference that was like anti-Trump openly. Was a okay here.
Mm-hmm.
And not exactly, even to most people, it's not exactly even left. It's pretty much the like no, what is it called? Never Trumpers and stuff like that.
Right.
Organized the principles for a summit, which is considered a center-right alternative to the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, confirmed the bomb threat after they abruptly asked attendees to clear the room hosting the conference. We have received credible bomb threat from an account claiming to be Enrique T. to honor the J6 hostages. Yesterday, the recently pardoned leader of the Proud Boys was sentenced to 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy and the attack of January 6, came to the summit and harassed the J6 police who were speaking. Okay, hotel security, blah, blah, they've made a decision to evacuate. And then, so he denied the connection. Okay, so Jim Acosta, former CNN host, posted a copy of the threatening message on social media. The message claimed that 4 pipe bombs had been deployed against political enemies of Emperor Trump, quote unquote, who, quote unquote, all deserve to die. But concluding attenders of the conference, Michael Fanone, former U.S. Capitol Police officer, Fanone's mother, and Joe Bolton, Trump's former national security advisors. Okay, so the police officers confirmed they were organizers received a threatening email with the subject explosive surprises from an account belonging to Enrique Tay. Okay, so all right, so what is this? So let's see. Let's see. Did we okay, let's see the message copy of the threatening message. Oh, here it is. So there's a lot of names, people that openly, people like that we know, like Frank Figliuzzi and Glenn
Mm-hmm.
Kirshner. Okay, so that's this. So what is the story here? And you know what's it reminded me, Corinne, also the January 6 actual bombs they put out there. You remember the
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
okay, so what is the story here now? What is the story of these bomb threats? Who is behind it, or what's the story? Let's find out. So, what's happening here? Yeah, I see the image of Trump say doing shh, silencing the people that are speaking out against him, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, let me ask a question. So is the Proud Boys, I almost don't even know that he was the one who did it, actually. It could be I think it's almost too obvious. Like in a way, do you feel like it was the Enrique Tarrio guy?
I know I do feel he's connected to it somehow
Yes, okay.
because I feel that he's got this attitude of let's go. You effers put me in jail. I'm going to show you a thing or two. So I
Okay.
almost get that feeling from him, but I'm not sure
It's okay.
all of it.
Because in fact, he did show up. This is what the article says. He did show up at the conference and harassed people directly. He was there. But
Yeah, he doesn't care. He feels like he put me right back in. Trump will just take me right back out. So I'm going to do all his bidding right now until I can't.
mhm, mhm,
I don't think he really cares. He
mhm.
does not care what happens to himself. He wants to go out being the guy he is, whether he's taken out or not. He doesn't care. He will go down fighting for his emperor.
Okay, okay. Interesting. All right. So, okay. So what's next? Are they going to do something like this? Are they going I'm just curious, Karina, are they going to follow through with this? Like, are they gonna put bombs? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Are they gonna carry it out or what? Or not?
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. Were they actually, maybe that's a question. Were there actual bombs there? Maybe we should start with that. Were there actual bombs there?
No, I don't think there were.
No, I don't think so either.
So, okay, so it's saying that they want to threaten, that's it. It's a fear environment. They want to threaten people and they want to do all these things.
Yeah.
So what is next? What is that? What is next? And you know what keeps showing me that I read over the weekend that Kash Patel, they wanted now him to be the head of the ATF. And that's, ATF is the alcohol, tobacco.
And firearm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the organization that the government law enforcement agency that investigates bombs. So it's saying they don't feel like they yet have the control to be able to get away with it.
No.
So, so that's it. So it's not the time yet. And they don't I almost like I feel like they don't have the capability to do it.
I was just going to say that. That's what I pick up. That they don't. They're like, I don't want to make a bomb. I don't want to lose a hand. I don't know how to do that.
Mhm,
So to me, it's like they're sitting behind the telephone making these threats because they know they work. They know they can threaten because they're not going to get in trouble and it works. And they don't have to put the bomb out for it to work. It's the fear tactic. It's the tactic of, they said there was a bomb in John Bolton's mailbox, and then I think it was Adam Kinzinger's family. It could have been another one. I'm sorry, but so that they're making them run all over with all this fear, so nobody opens a mailbox.
mhm.
That's what it is. It's just effing with everybody. I hate to say that, but that's what their mentality at this point is.
And I'm getting also then I kind of see him going back to prison. So that brings up another question that's more general, but relates to this, of course, is whether so Trump pardoned like thousands of people, I think it was, who did this. But
Yep.
go ahead.
No, he did. He pardoned him.
That's right. And now my
But
question now is like, because I saw this, that I kind of feel like there's a possibility that Trump's pardons will be invalidated because his whole, you know what I mean? Everything is done. Is this possible that his pardon?
absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm telling you, they're saying right now, they're going back to the original ones. Because you know who I get, and I get him all the time. Probably maybe because I've lived in Arizona twice and back again. Uh, Sheriff Arpaio, and
Hmm.
I probably always say that wrong.
Mm,
He was pardoned. That man does not deserve a pardon,
mm,
and I've always seen him getting his pardon taken away. So to me, it goes back to even the original pardons that he did the first time around.
mm. Yeah,
You
no,
know,
because I feel like it's so I see this because I see this entire guy. Oh, he's going back to prison. He can't believe he's like, what?
yeah,
I can't believe he's upset about it. So really like okay, so very interesting here. And so what is going on? Like it's kind of interesting, Corina, right? Like
yeah,
so what
yeah.
is
When justice comes back around, they're gonna face it.
okay, so tell me what is going on here with so that's right. So even no, it's saying that that's right. Everything will be undone. It shows
Mm-hmm.
that the executive orders and then the part everything because it's saying especially the latest one because they will say he can't for now he was not really the president so everything he's done has to be undone
Right.
like so especially the January 6 people. Okay, so
Yep.
that's what I get. Interesting, very interesting, Corinna, actually.
Yeah, I know that'll be glorious, won't it?
Wow, wow. Okay. All right. So, okay. So now let's go to that's it. So that's this part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that was good info.
and then just to clarify also, just so are they people that they threaten? Like I know Joe, not that I like, oh, I'm a huge fan of John Bolton, but they hate John Bolton. So is John Bolton and others listed there? Are they going to be in danger? Like, is there anything going to happen? Is anything going to happen to them? Or is just threats? That like
Yeah. Let's see. Right now, I think it's just threats.
I see a piece of glass, like breaking glass in a window or something where John Bolton is, but I don't think he's in danger, like of like his life or anything. He's not going to get hurt directly.
Yeah. I think if anything, like you just said, glass in a window. It's like like a pipe bomb being thrown in, but more just it's to
But
scare.
a pipe bomb being thrown in, that's bad. That's big deal. Do you see a, I don't
Yeah,
know. Do you
but
see
I
a,
don't see him being hurt or anything like that.
okay, okay. All right. So then, all right. All right. Okay, no, that's okay. Yeah, so that's it. I don't feel like I don't see any wounds or anything from him either. So I think they will all be okay. It's just threats. And I
Yeah,
see phone like texts and messages, but not real like things happening. It's more like a mass texting and stuff like that, like hacking kind of feeling. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. So cool. All right. So next thing is okay, so then there's just the India one. Okay, so what is the story again? Of this. What is the story here? So, a flight from New York was bound for India. What happens when airlines receive bomb threats? Okay, diverted to non-credible bomb threat. Okay, so it received a non-credible bomb threat and was forced to land in Rome due to. So, what is the story here? Is this related to Trump, to Russia, or what? So, I still get that there is something here related to they. I do think the bigger picture of the whole like they want people to be afraid of flying. That
Mm-hmm.
there's like all these terrorists and all that. So that's what I
Yeah,
get.
that's what I picked up too. It's going back to the almighty, big picture of Putin and all that. So it's the fear of flying,
Mhm,
putting fear into everybody. But
mhm.
it wasn't a credible,
That's right. So,
nothing credible happened, but it's fear.
wow. Okay, okay. So are these? I mean, I know when it's like, are these? When is this going to stop? Is this when Trump goes, or when is it's saying Trump?
Yeah.
Putin goes. Putin goes. because
Mm-hmm.
then they can still continue to do this afterwards. Okay, that's what I got. Even in the middle of it, they want us to be afraid, to feel a sense of terror in a way, right? That's what terrorism
Right.
is actually, fear, right?
That is
They fear.
exactly, that's exactly what it is. It's fear.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it is. It's complete fear.
Okay. Wow. So that's that. Wow. Okay. So that's so wait, so what else do we have anything else going to for I think for today this is what we wanted to cover. I just
Hmm.
the last thing to ask in general is what message does spirit have for us this week for this week of February is Monday, February 24th.
I just heard put on your seatbelts,
Mm,
buckle up, and don't look directly at the sun. Okay, spirit. Spirit usually has a sense of humor with me. But I think you can get the message of what that means is don't look directly at what's happening because that's fear. It just creates that fear in the body.
mm,
So look away if you have to. Look away.
mm,
Try
mm,
to stay out of the fear.
mm. That's right. Yeah. Interesting. I got that to kind of that breathe and to kind of it shows me also to not look at don't look at the news, don't spend too much time looking into it because then it shows me that they're beginning to crumble. That those
Mm-hmm.
people there's the crumbling is starting, but they're it's like whatever they're going to try to use the attention to try to grab people's attention as a means to escape all of it.
Right. Because
And
when you're close to getting caught, you get crazier and crazier. And you say weird crazier things, you do crazier things, you will do anything to avoid that. So as we move towards them getting caught, it is going to look worse and worse.
wow.
So be aware of that too. What you're seeing sometimes looks horrific, but it's actually them crumbling.
Mm, mm,
That's where I get the bigger picture and I see that and feel that energy. So it does look scary and horrific, but it's already crumbling. It really is.
wow.
Just hasn't seen it. We just can't see it quite yet with our eyes.
So, this is actually very specific. I got this image of avalanche, the snow thing. And because I watch a lot of mountain disaster documentaries, right? So sometimes people die from avalanche, tall mountains. So it shows me first that we're in the moment when you can spot something moving on top. And it shows me the speed of sound. It's not as fast. By the time you hear the sound, or something has already happened. So they're seeing that there's something moving on top, and they're going to start to project sound in expectation that we're going to hear the rumble of the avalanche next. Does it make sense? So in a way, they're going to create a sound that competes with the avalanche signs, right? So does it make sense?
Right.
So that
That
they
makes lots of
now
sense.
they're going to put in like a lot of noise because they know that we're going to hear the avalanche, the thing crumbling. And that's like by the time people are when you hear when you if you notice something coming, it's too late. Like you have to move like really really early. And so that's it. So
Yeah,
that they're gonna scream very loud so that we look that way and not the way that the avalanche
is
is.
actually coming. Yes.
So wow, very interesting. So but that's it for today, right, Corina? I think.
Yeah, that was good. That was really interesting today.
All right. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see
Thank you.
you tomorrow. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.